Right, and digital media is a way to hold you accountable to one person, which is interesting, an interesting concept.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Even comics. I mean, it's so widely accepted and just like no one cares about the fact that people sell and trade comics. Like, you can go to Comic Con. Like, I have a lot of comics. I have a lot of comics. I could go to Comic Con, open up a table, and just sell comics at Comic Con. And I don't own the rights to any of these. Um, I don't know exactly why the industry is like that, but it's not like they don't really enforce it with comics, but they could. Like, I don't own. If I wrote a Batman comic and tried to sell my own Batman comic, I'd get in a lot of trouble.
unless you named it something else and made it look completely different.
Which Frank Miller actually did do once. If you were ever interested in reading something that's completely batshit crazy, um, yeah, it's. Let me look up the name of it real quick. He wrote a Batman story about, and it ended up being kind of redone as the villain Hush that we all most comic people know by this point. He's actually going to be in the new movie.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, he wrote this crazy ass story, and DC was like, "The fuck no." Absolutely not. And he's like, all right, you know what, fuck you, and just took the bat ears off Batman and changed the title, and that's it. Released it anyway. Got away with it. What the fuck's this stupid book called? It's so crazy.
Well, that's how it goes sometimes. Imitation is the highest form of praise.
Holy Terror is what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, just Google Holy Terror.
How was it
People,
critically received?
very, very. Oh my God, this he's just holy shit, Frank Miller. You're crazy. That's it. Every time Frank Miller does something, the consensus is Frank Miller's crazy.
I decided partway through that it was not a Batman story.
So stupid. It's so stupid. The whole thing's
Just
ridiculous. Oh, it's like clearly Catwoman. Like everything, it's clearly Batman. It's so funny. Oh my god. You know what he did is he just wanted Batman to be able to use guns. That's all.
yeah.
Like, halfway through the story, he had Batman pick up a gun and was like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble," and removed his bat ears. Isn't it the most ridiculous shit you've ever seen?
He said it was still bound to offend just about everybody. He said he was about 100 pages into it with the 50 remaining. The following year, he said the series, until then being billed as Holy War Batman, would no longer feature Batman. As I worked on it, it became something that was no longer Batman, he clarified. It's somewhere past that. And I decided it's going to be part of a new series that I'm starting.
Yeah. Started and ended right there, buddy. Yeah, fucking full of shit. He is so full of shit.
Miller further explained the reason to drop Batman and use the Fixer as the protagonist, saying, "This character is much more well adjusted in committing terrible acts of violence on very evil people."
He's more well adjusted. Okay. Okay. Oh my god. Holy shit. The Holy Terror Batman wannabe is more adjusted than Batman, huh?
Yeah, well, David Brothers. Do you know who that guy is?
Like,
Apparently, he has a website called Comics Alliance. In a review of the book, felt that Miller's writing simplifies matters to an almost absurd level. The enemy in Holy Terror is not so much the terrorist organization Al Qaeda, but the religion of Islam.
oh, oh,
Whoa.
shots fired. Oh my god.
Let's see here. Um, Spencer Ackerman of Wired wrote that the book was one of the most appalling, offensive, and vindictive comics of all time.
Yes, it is.
Miller's Holy Terror is a screed against Islam, completely uninterested in any nuance or empathy toward 1.2 billion people. He
Yeah, he's
conflates
so
with a few
racist.
murderous
It's
conspiracy
so bad.
theorists.
Yeah.
Stanley has been another critic of this method, saying that such corny propaganda methods were outdated and inappropriate, although that needed to be cited.
Yep, that is Frank Miller's Holy Terror. I'm glad you.
Grant, Grant Morrison criticized the novel's concept. Batman versus Al Qaeda, it might as well be Bin Laden versus King Kong. Or how about the sinister Al Qaeda mastermind up against a hungry Hannibal Lecter for all the good it's likely to do? Cheering on a fictional character as he beats up fictionalized terrorists seems like a decadent indulgence when real terrorists are killing real people in the real world. I'd
How,
be so much more impressed if Frank Miller gave up all this graphic novel nonsense, joined the army, and with a howl of undying hate, rushed headlong into the front lines with the young soldiers who are actually risking life and limb versus Al Qaeda.
that's
Yikes.
that's how good Grant Morrison is. He's just on such another level that the worst thing he could think of to use to make fun of Frank Miller, his two examples are better than Holy Terror. Like King Kong versus Hitler or whatever. Like what? Please, please write that, Grant Morrison.
Uh, oh, in 2018, Miller expressed regret for writing Holy Terror.
Oh yeah, you know he does.
When I look at Holy Terror, which I really don't do all that often, I can really feel the anger ripple out of the pages. I don't want to wipe out chapters of my own biography, but I'm not capable of that book again. Interesting.
Yeah, I would certainly hope so. It was very very misguided. Very very misguided. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
does not seem like Batman.
No, no. It was. I mean, I gotta hand it to him. Even he knew he fucked up halfway through, and he was like, "Well, commitment though."
Yeah, finish what it started.
Yeah, I love it. And Frank Miller, dude, does some. Oh my god, the shit he comes up with. It's so silly. He's also the guy who wrote. Like he has some books behind him that you can't argue with. He wrote Batman Year One and Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, which are two of the most iconic Batman stories. Like everybody, Batman vs Superman, everything about Zack Snyder's DC movies is based off of Batman: The Dark Knight Returns.
You do realize that if we're going to talk about something everybody probably knows and refers to, it's probably Sin City.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, true. I honestly, really, do you think everybody knows Sin City?
I think that's way more mainstream to the average
Then
person
Batman: The Dark Knight Returns or Batman Year
than
One?
than those. Yes, just because of the mainstream like angle that those took versus how right now,
Sin
yes,
City
superheroes are
changed
taking the
so
forefront.
much. Like,
But he's more associated with the imagery and everything of Sin City and that
yeah,
whole like, movie. And I mean, you expect that from him now because of that movie.
that movie
Just
did
as a
change the
normal
game. Like,
person.
yeah, that movie did change the game. Like for a lot of things, like the fact that it could be that way Like, you know what I mean? Black and white with
Yeah,
like
that it
sort.
didn't have to be like a full-on motion picture. It could blend reality and comic book to the point that
Yeah, it was
it looked like his graphic novels. It was insane.
it was